Hello, everyone. I'm Fred Oakman here with Mr. Jake Peters. You're listening to PS This Is Awesome, a PlayStation podcast. This is episode 392, where we dive into our thoughts on all things PlayStation. Before we jump in, please subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/PS This Is Awesome, where you can also watch the video version of the podcast. You can also check out our trophy lists on the PlayStation Network. I am Anchorless_81 and Jake is Jigsaw 01. Send your thoughts to psthisisawesome at gmail.com. Share the show with friends. Don't forget to rate us. This podcast airs for free every Wednesday on your preferred streaming platform. But for those who sign up to our Patreon for just $1 a month, you can join the one and only $1 Club. We'll give you a free die-cut vinyl sticker in the mail, and we will also give you a proper shout-out on our show. So most times you also get the show a day or two early if you are a patron of our show. Visit patreon.com/PS This Is Awesome to support us. And remember, if you like our podcast, it does us a lot of good if you can like, comment, and subscribe. With that out of the way, Jake, how are you doing today?
Whatever. I mean, it's been so getting the podcast started sucked. Obviously, we haven't talked about it. If the listeners couldn't tell, I sound like dog shit because we're recording on Teams and not Discord because Discord literally broke the instant we started recording. It was like we didn't start recording yet, but we had the video up and we were talking for 2 seconds about OBS, and then it just imploded and gave us some shit about
guilds,
clans or guilds or some shit like that. And it's like, what does this have to do with video calls? But apparently the whole fucking thing was broken. I don't know. So we're trying to make this work on whatever the hell it is we're using. Teams. The audio is fucking terrible on Teams. Teams is a virus, just like almost every Microsoft program now.
Yeah.
And I don't understand when along the line Microsoft forgot how to make programs that were user-friendly, but it was right around the time I think they started switching things to Windows 11. But Teams was actually pretty dog shit. Like the new Microsoft login stuff was pretty dog shit basically into like the middle of Windows 10, but whoo boy, is this awful. I mean, I don't know. And I've been dealing with some really bad sinus stuff. I don't know if it's allergy related, because the allergies, I guess, are really bad right now because of I don't know if it's like goldenrod or because freaking leaves are starting to fall, or if it's like because of like nuts and acorns and shit are starting to fall or what. But dude, I'm like, so I apologize if I'm like coughing. I'll try to mute it the best I can. But if I'm like coughing or anything like that, and I'm gonna do my best to kind of keep energy up for the show. But it's like, you know how like, have you ever had to like speak for an extended period of time or like be in a meeting or anything?
Yeah. When
you're stuffy and like you can't breathe, and it's like it's just exhausting.
It breaks your concentration.
Right. So like I don't know. I guess we'll see how she goes. But
maybe
other than
you heard that. I just ripped ass. That was a mistake, but it was a good one.
That was that's the cherry on top of the episode. Did you shit, shit yourself? Did you shit yourself?
No,
that would have been
unfortunately.
Perfect.
Not yet, yeah.
Now I got to open a new window to see the notes.
I have
I'm
to
also
open
doing
a
some
real window.
Shit. What's that?
I said I have to open a real window because it smells like
because
shit in
yourself.
here.
Yeah, well. Okay.
It's my burden to bear. All right. Well, like Jake said, we're running into all kinds of issues here, and this episode is going to be somewhat we said it's going to be an abbreviated episode. We're just I gave Jake the sacred thumb drive with all of the hidden secrets of PS This Is Awesome on it, and our logos, our everything else, and just it might just be a point in our lives where Jake might have to start recording some of this shit. But we'll cross that bridge when we can. But so we were trying to get into all that, and then like he said, Discord just shit the bed. So that sucks. But man, I don't know. I'm not sick. I worked all day just like you did, and I've not played Hero Quest in a while. I have played a little bit more of Death Stranding 2, which I'll get into in a second. But I had the... Dude, I don't know. I probably shouldn't even say anything. Who's the guy in Resident Evil that's not the main guy?
What do you mean, not Leon?
I don't know.
There's Leon Kennedy and then there's Chris Redfield. Those are the two main dudes.
All right, give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second. My mouse, by the way, sucks. We started recording and I have a Mac, and my Mac battery was freaking dead. And the magic mouse here, I'll show the listeners, is right here. And you'd think maybe they put like a charging port on the top or somewhere on the side, but no, it's underneath it. So you can't use it while it's charging. And the battery's completely dead. Now, granted, I probably did have a warning or something, but now I'm using this shitty mouse and I can't scroll through the things that I want to scroll through. You got to give me 1 second, though, because what I'm about to say is kind of interesting. Although I can't click on bullshit on this website. Kind of annoyed right now. All right, here we go. I guess you can't click on past events. Anyways, it doesn't matter. I think maybe I had an opportunity to meet somebody who voiced one of the characters in one of the new Resident Evil games. And I can't remember what the guy's name was or the image associated with him, of the character he voiced. But I'm about 99% certain it was a Resident Evil character, and a newer one. And I just can't place it for whatever reason. So I digress. Anyways, maybe it's a story for another time. What else happened real quick? Honestly, not a whole hell of a lot. Gosh, I don't know. I know that something great has happened. Did we play the Ironworks this past Friday? No, that was the last week. Yeah, dude, nothing has gone on. The Steelers had their first game, and they beat the Jets, which was cool. Dude, their freaking kicker is amazing. He kicked a 60-yard field goal like it was no problem, right down the center. His last name is Bosco, I believe.
Boswell?
Boswell. Yeah. He's unbelievable. And we have Aaron Rodgers throwing for us, which is hilarious because everyone's like, yeah, that guy's old and washed out. But all the scouting reports during like preseason and these are just like, man, he's still got it. He's got a hell of an arm. Now he's not going to run worth shit, and if he gets sacked or banged up too hard, there's a good chance he'll be out for the whole season. So he's kind of like a glass cannon, literally. So he's got a hell of an arm, but he's fragile because he's like 41 or 42 years old. But from what I understand, I was talking to a lady at work. She said that he took a $13 million one-year contract in or about that amount to play with the Steelers. And there's like 14 or 15 games.
I think there's like 17 now, or 18, but yeah.
Yeah. So 13.
They probably won't make the playoffs, so they'll probably 17.
Dude, it's hard to say. I got a feeling they're gonna have a good run with him. This is gonna be.
Dude, did you watch the game?
Yeah.
So
4
they
touchdowns.
got a couple. Dude, their defense was playing like shit. I mean, I didn't even watch the games. I just watched the highlights. But they got 2 insane breaks, like that one where the ball bounced off like 5 fucking guys and he
held onto it as a catch,
or the one where they got that fumble literally on the offensive 10-yard line.
Yeah.
Like that was like, okay,
that's football,
because they only won the game by like 3 points. It's not like, or 2 points. It's not like they blew them out. So, and the Jets are they're a dubious team. I mean, they've always been a dubious team. I'm not even a big football fan. I would be interested in watching more Steeler games this year.
Yeah.
But it's just like, dude, if I want to watch, if you want to watch all of the games, you have to have
like $500.
Yeah, like I read somewhere that if you want to watch every single NFL game, like you want to watch all of them. Not that anyone's going to do this, but if you wanted to watch every single NFL game, it would cost you $1,000 because you have to subscribe to NFL Sunday Ticket. You have to subscribe to Amazon Prime. You have to subscribe to fucking Netflix. You have to subscribe to Paramount or whatever and Max and all this other shit. And they'll put a random game on Tubi or something. It's like, can you just like I wish it, like I sent you that Pittsburgh, that Sportsnet Pittsburgh thing for like watching the Pirates games. Wouldn't it be rad if they had something like that for the Steelers, where it's just like, yeah, it's like, even if it's like $50 a month, but it's like you just get every game. Like I think that would be pretty awesome. I mean, $50 a month would be a lot, but like, you know what I mean? Where it's like I want to pay you. But the NFL is so huge that they have all these rights deals that people are going to pay for it. So why the fuck wouldn't they make all their money? And but it's like, dude, I'm not. I like the play of football, but the reason why I don't watch it primarily is because of just all the stoppage and all the commercials. Like, it's insane. It's like a game that is literally 20 minutes of actual action is like a 4-hour experience because of all of the commercials and the stoppage, not stoppage time is a soccer term, but like the time where like the clock is running, but everyone's just standing around and like all this other stuff. Cause it's like, I think football is an awesome game. I love the strategy of it. I just wish that it was a little bit more active.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree.
And the fact that they, you know, cry like babies because they're playing like 17 games a year is fucking annoying. But
I know it's more physical, but I mean, like, it's not hockey. It's not,
dude. Yeah. Hockey, they play 82 games a year plus playoffs, and it's way more high paced, way more violent. And now, granted, the guys in hockey are smaller than the guys in football. Blah blah blah. I mean, we could have this argument all day. I'm obviously a hockey stan, so I'm not the person to have this argument. But yeah, I don't know. We didn't need to go off on that tangent. I just watched the highlights. So I think what I might do is just unless there's like a reasonable opportunity for me to watch games, I'm just gonna keep up with the highlights and stuff, because it shows like a good chunk of the game anyway, just all the different plays and stuff that are made, and it's still kind of exciting when you don't know what happened to watch the highlights, and it's just showing all.
It's the cliff notes of the game, right?
Yeah, so like, and I'll do it with hockey as well. I mean, it's not like I'm, you know, picking on football specifically, but I'm much more inclined to sit and watch an entire hockey game when there's only, let's see, there's only 9 commercial breaks in the entire game, not including intermission.
Yeah, that's not bad.
You know, it's not a whole lot, and anyway, I don't know. I don't know how we got on that. Yeah. Steelers won. Good for them.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, dude, Aaron Rodgers looks fucking old, though. You cannot deny that. Like, when he's out there,
he looks old.
He looks like he should be in a wheelchair.
No, he's got a good arm.
But he did good. I mean, he looked pretty good.
Dude can
he's
play.
Not going to run the ball, but he did throw. It looked like he was throwing well.
All you need are good wide receivers, man. Good people to throw the ball to, have good hands, and then you're good as long as you get it to them. You know, and you got an offensive line that's at least going to keep you protected. So I think we got a shot.
It seems like they have some receivers and stuff that can catch the ball. I think the big question mark this year for them is probably going to be their defense. Yeah. Based on that game, but right. I don't know.
Yeah, their defense didn't do anything. But anyways, dude, 2 other quick things. That movie that I got a song in, I don't think I mentioned this, Pig Hill, it did premiere in London. Did I talk about this? I don't remember if I did or not.
I don't know.
Anyways, so that's out, but it's not out for everybody yet, so that's exciting. And then the other thing, oh God, there was something else I was going to bring up. It was important, more important than that. Oh yeah, so One If by Land has hoodies for sale now in the fall for fall time. So it's the American Crows logo. Commonwealth Press out of Pittsburgh printed them. They're going to be nice, and we've got limited supply. So get yours while you can. I believe it's just on our Bandcamp, bandcamp.com/oneofbylandpa or oneofbylandpa.bandcamp.com, I think is what it is. But check it out. That's my rock and roll band. And not only to plug that, we kept getting tagged on this festival that's coming up. We're trying to get bands for. It's called Midwest Friends. And it's like, I know Cincinnati's a bit of a drive, but it's a really big festival for like punk or rock bands or whatever. And we kept getting tagged. And a dude who's friends with our fellow band friends, Night Marathons, said that he found us through them and loved us and really wants us to play that festival. So I did the submission thing. So I don't know. Maybe it'll happen. Maybe we'll get to go out for a jaunt to Cincinnati at some point for an awesome fest. One of my land. That'd be cool. We need it. Cool. Yeah, we don't do a lot of shows, so that's exciting. But hoodies are up for sale. They look dope, and they've got just enough spookiness to them, and it's the right season. So go grab one before we run out. That being said, we're going to get into games that we're playing. Every episode we talk about different video games we're playing. I have been chiseling away at Death Stranding 2. The game's fine. It's good. It is just long in the tooth. And I do feel like I'm at the end at this point. I don't know, though. I don't know. I've got almost 80 hours in, and I'm at that point where they're like, there's only one more stop to connect to the Cairo network, Sam. But you better head to base and get your rest because there's no turning back after this. Or something like that, you know what I mean? But with Kojima, that could just be the midway mark. Who fucking knows? I don't know. But I'm pushing through. The game's great. And I am ready to try something different. But my video game time has been so limited lately. And I do want to also note that on the video right now, Jake's audio and the video of him may not be synced up. So I apologize, but blame Discord and blame Teams and blame your fellow listeners who aren't supporting us on Patreon. That out of the way, Jake, what are you playing?
So I beat Shinobi over the weekend. Like I've been talking the last
Art of
weeks.
Vengeance?
Yeah. The game is fucking excellent. I highly recommend it to anyone who's even remotely interested in a side-scrolly, like fast-paced kind of ninja beat-em-up combo bloodfest. The art style is, like I've said before many times, is just absolutely beautiful. The gameplay is so much fun. I will admit there was one level specifically towards the end of the game where the platforming challenges in it were a little bit like, okay, I'm over this.
Yeah.
Where it was like, the game has difficulty modes, but that doesn't help you when you're talking about platforming challenges. It'll help you with combat encounters, but specifically, and this isn't really a spoiler. If you've seen gameplay of it, you've probably seen this, but you unlock the ability to do like a glide, like you have like almost like a glider that you can kind of jump and glide with, you know? Mm-hmm. And there are these platforming challenges where there'll be like wind that's going up and wind that's going across, and then you have to like use the glider to like navigate these sort of like wind areas. But there's this one thing where you're kind of inside this monster, and the story's not really important in this game anyway, so it's not really a big deal. Mm-mm. And all of the walls are just spikes that kill you instantly, and you have to navigate through all of these corridors while holding the glider, and the wind's blowing you around, and it's like super narrow, and if you make one little mistake and you hit a spike, you have to start the whole thing all over again. And it's like, I was just getting so fucking frustrated from doing these. Like, I don't mind the jumpy, dashy kind of like grappling hooky kind of platforming challenges, but the ones where you're like floating and you have to like, you know, navigate through this like floaty sequence, kind of like Flappy Bird style. I just like this is stupid. Like, I don't really care for this. But thankfully, there's only one really bad part of the game with that. And The rest of the game is just immaculate. So I finished that up, and I didn't know what to play next. So I jumped back into the Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remastered. I never did finish that because I bought it because I'm a huge fan of the game, and I started playing it, and then I went on to something else, and then I've just never gone back to it. So I decided to go back to it, and I'm just not feeling it. Like, I'm not in the mood for it. Maybe when it gets a little colder, a little bit darker out, that'll be a game that'll be piquing my interest. But so I was thinking, well, maybe I'll play Borderlands when it comes out. And because I was originally thinking, I was like, well, maybe I'll play Chronos. And it's just like, I don't know if I'm in the mood for a game like that right now. And it's like, well, maybe I'll play Hot Shots Golf. And then I was looking up stuff on that, and it seemed like people weren't too hot on it. And then so I was like, well, Borderlands doesn't come out for another week. And then I found out after talking to my brother over the weekend that him and I do the game share thing where we share our accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought Hollow Knight Silksong. So I decided to download it and start playing that. So I started playing that yesterday. And it's pretty cool. Like, the art is really awesome in it. The music is very good. I still, because I don't know if I mentioned this on the podcast before. I'm sure I did at some point. The original game is not really for me. Like, it didn't really jive with me all that much. I don't like being lost, which is like half the part of the game, the point of the game. I don't like the combat encounters can be quite difficult, which is less of an issue, but it can be an issue. And then the game is just incredibly depressing. Like the tone and the mood and the visuals, it's and like the audio, everything is very depressing.
Yeah.
And so I was like, but everybody's all excited about Silksong. It's like, I'll jump into it. It's like, I got nothing to lose here. I'm not paying for it. I'm borrowing it from my brother ostensibly. And I've been enjoying it. I still don't think that these games are for me, like, as a whole. Like, I can't see myself beating this game, but I'm enjoying it. And I'm probably going to be happy to sort of play it out the rest of the, who knows, maybe I'll get hooked and I'll keep playing it. But Borderlands comes out on Friday, and assuming that game doesn't review like shit, I'll probably pick that up and start playing that. So, it'll be a nice little adventure for me for a few days, kind of see what the hubbub is about.
Yeah.
I will say that, like I said, it's still the game doesn't hold your hand at all. Like, there's no map, there's no nothing. You're just like, it's a Metroidvania where it's a side scroller. You're just going through rooms, and you don't know where the fuck you are until eventually, like, every area, like, act has a person that you can run into, and that person will sell you a map if you have the materials to buy it. But then if you have the map, it won't tell you where you are unless you also have the compass. And then it'll tell you where you are, but it won't tell you what rooms you've already been in unless you have the quill, I'm sorry. So it's like, it's a game that I understand why people love it, because it's like that sense of wonder where you're discovering this, like, organically, and a lot of people are really into that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I'm sort of at a point in my gaming life where I'm just like, okay, I'm looking for a guided experience. I just want to pick this up, have a good time for a while, move on to the next thing. I don't want to be sitting there being like, where the just running around in circles thinking like, where the fuck is the lady with the map? And then I find her and she's like, oh, well, you need to give me like 67 fucking beads. And then it's like, okay, well, now I got to go find 67 beads. And then it's like, oh, well, now I got to go find 50 more beads to get the compass. And I'm obviously not a Hollow Knight person. I'm sure the Hollow Knight fans out there will be like, oh, this is totally fine. You're overblowing it. Not a big deal. To be fair, like I mentioned, I'm still currently having fun with it. I just know myself as a gamer, and I don't think that this is going to stick with me long term. But I'm really impressed with what I'm playing so far. I just don't think that it's a game that's made for me personally. Does that make sense?
Yeah, it does make sense. Yeah, I think I got kind of far on the first Hollow Knight, but I never really beat it because I got burnt out on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. I do like those kinds of games to a degree, but when they just drag on and they become, when they should be getting easier, when they become a little more complex of trying to figure out where you need to go because the map gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and you're trying to remember where you needed to go and what places you couldn't access, it just becomes like a thing. I don't know.
Yeah, that's my biggest problem with Metroidvanias. It's not that like, oh, I need to find the thing to get through this area. It's that when I do a bunch more exploring, it's like, okay, well now what stuff is opened up to me? Yeah, and it's like you have to re-explore all that stuff all over again. That game that I talk about from time to time, that what is it called? Shit, I just fucked myself. Let me see real quick. Record of Lotus War, Deedlit, and Wonder Labyrinth. That game, that's a mouthful. So it's a Metroidvania, and one of the things I loved about it is that all of the areas that were blocked were marked with a color. Yeah. And then when you found the item that was for that area, it would be the color. So you know that like, oh, well, now I can go to these places that I've been, but I couldn't get through. And I wish that more games had at least an option to allow you to be able to do that. But I get it. It kind of flies in the face of the spirit of some of these games is all.
Huh. Well, dude, Forged and Shadow Torch is also like that in a good way.
Yeah.
You know, it's like Metroidvania-ish, but it really guides you. I don't know. But we have some listener feedback. You guys can write into the show if you want. Head over to our YouTube channel. Leave a comment on one of our videos. Go to Patreon. Leave a comment on our post there. Write us an email, psisawesome@gmail.com. Big Box writes in. He says, and Jake, this is about your take on Nintendo from last episode. He goes, Jake, I don't even like Nintendo games, but this take is crazy. Both new Zelda games scored like a 96 Metascore and sold 30 million copies. Come on, Jake. Nintendo's doing something right. Break free from your graphics matter. Chains. I think he's missing the point, maybe.
Dude, I think he's missing the point, is right, Mr. freaking Big Box. Is that, and like I'm pretty sure I said this last week, it's not that the games are not good.
Right, they are
It's that they run like shit. It's so that is my problem with them. It's like I said, Zelda is good, but it runs like shit. Of course they're doing something right. The games get high scores, and they get high scores because they're good games, not because they run well. So all I'm saying is that 96, to me, would be more like a 96 or a maybe even a fucking 100 if it actually ran well. Like, if I wasn't, like, running around and the screen's tearing and chopping and shit while I'm trying to freaking, kill things with Link. And it's just my big thing where it's like, guys, I mean, the biggest thing, that I was trying to drive at was really the performance. And it's not that the games are bad, because the games are good. It's just that the performance is bad. If you're charging somebody $550 for the Switch 2, the PS5 is $550, and it outperforms the Switch 2. Now, I know people are going to say, well, the Switch 2 is a handheld and blah, 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 blah. I get it. But it's a brand new console, and the PS5 is 5 years old. So the PS5 is 5 years old, and it's still more powerful than the most modern Nintendo console. If they just literally made it like the same power as the current generation, these games would run good right out of the box. And it's like, I don't understand why Nintendo, their games are great, but I don't understand why they get a pass for their games running like shit. I hate when people say like, oh, it's a smooth 30 frames, or oh, it's a smooth 20 frames a second. It's like, okay.
To be clear,
you get used to it.
This is Big Box's comment on a short that I posted, and I'll hold it up to the mic real quick so the listeners.
I think he might be trolling me.
I think maybe he's trolling you. But here, we'll play the audio real quick. This is Jake going off last episode. And let's see if we can get this pulled up because it was intentionally pulled out in the way that I pulled it out to draw attention, and it got 1.1 thousand views, 14 thumbs ups. So I will say that it did its job. However, we need to listen to this real quick. So this is what I had to say. Hold on. You got to give me one moment here. Let's rewind this bitch.
Oh my gosh.
Come on, I don't care about that. Why is this not? Come on, what is going? Why does everything suck right now? Okay, I see the problem. I
love their games, right? But people overlook the fact that they look and run like shit because their hardware is underpowered just because the games are good. It's like, oh, I've got the new Zelda game. It runs at like 20 frames a second, and it's at like 500p, but it's a good game. Nobody seems to take into account that, like, yeah, if that game was just on a console that had fucking power, it would be like a 10 out of 10.
Which I don't understand.
No,
it's not like Nintendo's. It's not like it's impossible for Nintendo to come out with a fucking rad console. Like if they did that, could you imagine?
All they gotta do is put more juice into the consoles they have.
Yeah.
I mean, the Switch 2 is $550. It's not like it's cheap.
Right.
So, dude, it's already underpowered. It's already less powerful than a PS5.
That's what I don't understand.
So I did say the games are good in the short.
It did start at the very beginning of that. Yeah,
I just said that people give them a pass. The games are good, but people give them a pass for the fact that they run like crap because they're Nintendo games. People would not give, The Last of Us Part 2, if it came out and it ran at like fucking 20 frames a second at like 720p, people would be dogging on that game. But because it's a Nintendo game and it's on the Switch, people don't give a shit about it. They're like, yeah.
Well, the new Metal Gear Solid game comes out, the remake, and it blips and bloops a little bit here and there, and everybody's like, the game shouldn't have been released yet. It's bullshit,
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. I'm not trying to, poo-poo.
We're on the same page, Big Box. We don't really like Nintendo games much either, but you are right. Those games were good games, unarguably great games. But if the console could run a little bit better, they'd be even better games. And I think that's the point. Anyways, thanks for writing in, Big Box. We love hearing from you. Let's keep moving, man. There's a couple news stories. There's not a ton of news stories, but there's a few. So I thought we would just segue right into the news. Every episode we talk about a couple news points that are PlayStation-centric. And the first one, Jake, is we got our State of Play. We got a State of Play discussion that we're going to have about 007 First Light. We got 30 minutes of this game. And, dude, everything I saw, I didn't watch the whole thing. I scrubbed through a lot of it. But it looked to me a lot like Uncharted.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, all right, cool. I'm in. This is cool. Even though Mafia Old Country had some Uncharted vibes, this seems like it could even have more, with more stealth mechanics. Not to shortchange Uncharted. Uncharted did have stealth in the game. There were a lot of sneak attacks you could do on people and stuff. And it was a minor mechanic in Uncharted, but it did exist. But this just seems like if Hitman were more action-oriented and more set pieces. You know what I mean? That's kind of what I got from it. And now you're 007. It looked cool, dude. I think this looked nice. Jake, what's your take?
So, yeah, I'm in the same boat as you. I did not watch the whole thing. I was not going to sit there and watch fucking one or two complete playthroughs of missions in this game. Because if I want to play it, I don't want the freaking missions spoiled for me. But I did watch clips of all the gameplay and some shit. Like they're posting a bunch of stuff, like excerpts from that. And everything that I've seen looks super cool. Like I love the like the watch mechanic where he's like using the laser to like shoot down chandeliers and like like distract enemies, and it seems like they're almost taking, like you said, like an Uncharted Nathan Drake-esque character and mixing it with Hitman, but then sort of removing like a lot of the maybe really wild Indiana Jones aspects
and the crazy planning aspects.
Right. And maybe not. I mean, maybe there'll be mission kind of planning and these big, like, elaborate set pieces and stuff. I mean, it honestly seems like a lot of that's going to be there. But it just is a matter of, like, how does the game play? Everything that I've seen so far, I really, really like. So I'm not... Like, as soon as I started watching it, and I was I'll be honest with you, the only thing that I saw that I didn't really care for was the part where the player is, like, just driving a car around slowly.
Yeah,
and I was just like, I was like, I don't really, this doesn't seem very exciting to me. Like, this could just be a cutscene, and you could just tell me what the fuck the exposition is. Yeah. I don't know that I need to be manually driving a car slowly through this villa or whatever. But everything about, like, the sneak, like, because there was all this stuff where he's, like, sneaking around and he's doing this, like, very stealthy kind of stuff where he's doing enemy distractions and all this kind of crap. But then there were just sections where he was just straight up fucking mowing dudes down, full on action movie style, which is awesome. I love the option to do all of that. There was even like a set piece where he, like, jumps out of a plane, like Uncharted 3 or something.
Yeah,
which is kind of crazy. So I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to sit here and say I'm the biggest James Bond fan in the world, but I like most of the movies that I've seen. Obviously, when I was growing up, and you obviously, we had Goldeneye and the Pierce Brosnan films, but before that, I was always a big fan of the Roger Moore James Bond movies, and people obviously love Sean Connery, the original James Bond. Yeah, it's exciting, and it comes out in March, which is, to be honest with you, it's like, what, 6 months away? That's not that long.
No, it's
not. I'm excited for it. I can't wait.
Yeah, and let's not forget the lineage of IOI, right? IO Interactive. I'm seeing a refined gunplay from Kane and Lynch too here.
Yeah,
dude, I'll tell you this: Kane and Lynch was one of those games that, like, got, like, middle of the road reviews and stuff, but I really dug it. I thought it was good, man. It was kind of story driven, third person, kind of, it was pretty violent and graphic and pretty messed up, dude. It was good. So, a gritty Uncharted, have you? But anyways, man, yeah, Kane and Lynch was cool, but 007 looks good. They've come a long ways, and excited to see how this game does. Moving on to the next news point. Shannon Loftus, I don't know if I'm saying that name correctly, former vice president of Xbox Game Studios, has publicly commented on growing tensions surrounding Xbox Game Pass. Her post comes after remarks from ex-Bethesda head Pete Hines, as both reflect complexity and internal friction within Microsoft's subscription strategy. It underscores a broader industry debate around subscription services and publisher dynamics. Dude, I'll say this. All of these subscription services are fucking garbage. I mean, they're good. They're good for us, but they're not helping the creators at all, these things. Every time you subscribe to a service and get a game available to you, they're missing out on a sale. Whether it be a digital sale or a physical sale, or now I know there are some residuals and kickback from being on these platforms, but I would argue less than you might think. And everybody's kind of losing on the business end of these, because this was just a race to see how many people can we get before the other company gets them with our service. And think about it, Jake. Like, back in the day, you could just pay for cable and watch every fucking NFL game you wanted. Right?
Yeah.
You can't do that anymore. Now you have to pick and choose. And we're going to get to a point, probably. Now, this is a little out there. Maybe not probably, but it's possible we could get to a point where the only way to play the game you want to play is to be a member of the subscription service that game is available on. We're going to start getting subscription exclusive games. And I dread the time when that starts happening. So it's no longer going to be a console exclusive. It's going to be, we'll have access to Game Pass maybe, or PS Plus Extra, or Steam will have one of their subscriptions. They'll come up with something, or Switch will have, and they'll all be available. And the only way to play the game you want is to sign up to like a yearly fee on each of them. And we're all going to be in to the tune of $500, $600, $700 a year just to be able to play the games we want to play. And this is how they put a strong arm on people. So I'm not sure exactly, but we know that Microsoft is losing money on Games Pass. There's no way they're making money on this. But with the day-and-day releases of some of these games, and I don't know what the kickback is for these studios when they have a game come out and day one it's on Games Pass. If they're Microsoft owned, sure. I mean, there's probably some sort of agreement out there, but I don't know, man. We're kind of getting ourselves in a sticky situation. I saw it with music a long time ago, just with Apple Music and all that shit. I've gone on tirades about it, but it's starting now to show its teeth in the gaming world in a real way that's actually affecting companies and studios, and that's why there's such a big fucking push for live service games, dude, is because that's where the money's at. Give them the game for free on a service or whatever, and then have them do in-game purchases or whatever. You know what I mean? Let's just keep the game running on the server and have these people just pay every month for some new content. Just keep them hooked. It's like a dopamine hit or something. It's so weird. I miss the days of just buying a single-player game, sitting down with it, not needing to be on the internet, and just enjoying it, me and the game. That one-to-one experience that you can't really get anywhere else. And now everything is just turning in a weird direction, and this concerns me. But Jake, what do you have to say?
I mean, I think that what do we start? I think that it seems relatively apparent that Pete Hines left Bethesda with a little bit of a chip on his shoulder about how things went down when Bethesda was purchased by Microsoft. It seems relatively obvious just because of the way that he left and some of the things that he said and how he doesn't agree with Game Pass and how he didn't like that they took Bethesda's games and made them exclusive and before Game Pass and before all that changed and everything. And so I think he might be a little bit I don't know if you want to say salty about Microsoft just generally right now, but he's probably not wrong about the things that he's saying. Obviously, it's a problem for Microsoft that they've trained their audience not to buy games anymore. Yeah. I don't think Sony is doing that. I mean, obviously, they've got the extra tier and stuff like that, but all of the most important games that Sony has, and even all of the most important third-party games, not even the first-party stuff, you're not getting that on a subscription service. You got to buy it. And people still buy them. Sony is still the most popular console in the world, even though Microsoft has a cheap console and they have Game Pass. It shows that doesn't matter as much in games as you would think, especially with Game Pass being as expensive as it is. I think Game Pass Ultimate on console is like $20 or $25 a month or something. So it's not cheap. I apologize. My sinuses are killing me. But it's yeah, I mean, you're talking about developers and stuff. It makes sense maybe for some small developers that like Yeah, Microsoft comes along and they're like, hey, we'll give you $150,000 to put your game on Game Pass, or $200,000 to put your game on Game Pass. And they've got like one person working at the studio. That person's probably like, well, shit. I mean, for having my game on Game Pass for a couple months, it completely pays for my next game. And I get to eat for another few days or another few months or another couple of years. So for those types of people, I guess I kind of get it. But I think now that the market has become saturated, and because there are more and more people coming on Game Pass and everything, and it's becoming more of a money churning kind of thing, I don't think that those deals are as good for the smaller developers. And I think that the larger developers don't want to touch it with a 10-foot pole if they know that their game has even a remote chance of selling. Because it's like, well, let's say you're, I don't know, let's say you're, because we were talking about Hitman. I know this doesn't make sense because of PlayStation and everything, but let's say you're 007, and Microsoft comes to you and they're like, or even Sony. Let's talk about Sony because that's who they're in bed with right now. Let's say Sony comes to you and they're like, we'll give you $100,000. We'll give you, $100 million to put 007 on extra for a year. I mean, if you're IOI, do you do that? Because think about it. I mean, the game probably cost more than $100 million to make.
Yeah.
But if they sell, if they sell 2 million copies, they've eclipsed that. And chances are they probably will. If the game is marketed well, and it sounds like Sony is going to market it well, and IOI will probably market it themselves some too. Mm-hmm. But it's like, I don't know. Or if you're the next fucking Final Fantasy game or something, I don't know. It's like, your game, if your game is good for 2, 3, 4, 5 million copies, it's like, why would you take that money? Unless Microsoft comes to you and they're like, we're going to give you $500 million for this. And then at that point, it's like Microsoft would never do that because it would destroy them if they were making those kinds of deals with Game Pass. And maybe they are, I don't know, but it would be freaking stupid if they did. So I don't know. That's kind of my take on it. It seems like I am curious how this will all wash out, because it could go one of two ways. All these subscription services could sort of like distill into like these like lower level services where you're getting, maybe individual games on subscriptions and things like that. Or it could blow up where it's like there's no purchase model at all anymore like there is for music. I just don't think it's going to ever get that far with games, or at least not anytime soon, because games are so expensive that it's like, yeah, you could give somebody $100,000 to make an album, and that can be supplemented by streaming. It sucks for the artist, but they could supplement it with streaming and touring and merch and all that stuff. But a video game can only be sold. It can't be toured. It can't be, there's a little bit, I guess, you could make with merch, but like not in the same realm as music. And so, I think that there's still going to be a huge avenue for places just wanting to sell their games.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree, man. It's curious to me to see what this is going to look like even in a year, 2, 3 years from now, man. Well, the next news point I have is that Sony has announced that the participants in the Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls beta will be able to share their gameplay footage freely. And this reverses their earlier restrictions. It's a notable step towards open communication and transparency with the community ahead of the beta phase. And it will be removing barriers that will help build hype and goodwill for the title. This news story comes away at Push Square. And specifically, they said, we appreciate you keeping your gameplay confidential up to this point as we work to integrate your feedback. We have now reached a point in Marvel Tokon Fighting Souls development where we'd love for you to share it with the world. We're happy to announce you are now allowed to stream and share your gameplay. So that's kind of exciting, man. This game kind of blew up, and it looks dope, dude. I love the anime style kind of these Marvel characters. The art style is just so cool. It looks good. Oh, Jake, you're still muted.
Sorry, can you hear me now?
Yep, gotcha.
Yeah, sorry, I was blowing my nose. So yeah, it makes sense that like this. You're right. It looks amazing, but to me, it kind of makes sense that they would allow this to be shared. There's not really a narrative going on here. You're not really spoiling anything for anyone, other than maybe certain stages look like, maybe moves. What certain moves look like. So to me, it's like YOLO, just freaking let people share the shit out of it, get as much word out of mouth out there as possible, as much streaming and YouTube content out there as possible. It's all free advertising. So when this thing drops, maybe it's going to have huge hype on it. I mean, the game's already got huge hype, but this might make it even bigger. And so yeah, I think it makes sense for this.
Yeah, cool. I do too. I'm excited to see this game, and I do like fighting games. I just don't know. I don't think I'm like super good at them, but I do think I'm okay at them. It's nothing I would want to do like online against random randos or anything. But this next story is a good one, and finally, is all I have to say, is insider sources indicate that the highly anticipated Marvel's Wolverine for PS5 may be featured in Sony's next State of Play livestream, complete with a new trailer. This positions the game as a major announcement and gives fans something exciting to anticipate in the near future. The timing lends momentum to Sony's marketing strategy for its exclusive titles. And we only have that one trailer so far where he's sitting at the bar and he shoots out his claws. So I don't know. This is from Insider Gaming. They're saying that the next trailer is ready, and it's all but guaranteed that we're going to be seeing more of it at the next State of Play. So that's exciting, and I guess we don't really know when that State of Play is going to be. Maybe we'll get some other updates from other games as well, which will be kind of nice, but I don't know. I could do a little Wolverine maybe if it's dope.
Yeah, I think it's just about time we see it. I mean, hopefully they'll give us a release date. It might just be dated for next year or something like that. But I mean, it's been years since we saw that reveal trailer, and obviously something happened with the game. Something was not going well with development, so they have waited until now. But hopefully that means that it's really close to being done, and it's not that long of a wait after we see the trailer. And obviously, State of Play, like you said, hopefully it's soon. My guess is it'll be sometime between now and the Game Awards. So in the next, if not by the end of this month, probably in the next couple months. And hopefully we'll be singing its praises. And like you said, I can't wait to hear about different games too. I don't know where I got the impression, but I was hoping that there would be more than just 007 in the last State of Play, because I kind of want to see more about what's going on. Yeah. But obviously we only got 007 in the last State of Play. So I'm looking forward for a new State of Play. Looking forward to seeing what Wolverine's all about. Am I excited? I'm cautiously optimistic about it, but I'm not really sure how a Wolverine game is really going to play. So we'll have to see. I don't think he's cool, but is he the most interesting character? I don't know. He's just kind of violent and angry most of the time. So we'll have to see how they play his character. But yeah, I'm excited to see what this is about.
Well, there was that huge NVIDIA leak a long time ago, and it seems like a lot of maybe Insomniac Games plans were kind of leaked. But there is a LinkedIn profile from a developer at Insomniac, and it leads to make us think that perhaps they're working on 3 games at the same time. One we know is definitely Wolverine. The other one we can guess will be Spider-Man 3. And then the third one is the rumored X-Men game that apparently they're supposed to be working on, but allegedly working on. So I don't know. It's like they're all in on the Marvel heroes, or the heroes. You know what I mean? And it is what it is.
I hope one of them is a new Ratchet game, or heaven forbid, a new IP, or even like Resistance or something. But Resistance is dead, so we're not going to get that. But I could see us getting another Ratchet game. So I don't know why we need 3 fucking Marvel games in development. But
and Marvel Tokon coming out also.
Right.
Yeah, right. Well, last news point, Jake, and then we can get on with new games coming out this week. This is also a rumor. There's a rumor circulating that as we've gotten word that there's going to be a dockable portion for the PS6, there's also a rumor that the next-gen PS6 could feature a detachable disk drive design. So speculation swirling around the upcoming PS6 potentially featuring a detachable disk drive designed to reduce production costs and overall price. The modular concept might help Sony avoid the premium pricing that hampered PS5's reach at launch. It's true, or if true, rather, is what I have written. It's a clever strategy to balance affordability with hardware flexibility. I mean, they already kind of are doing that with the detachable drive, with the Pro. Yeah.
Yeah,
so
and the new Slim.
Me. So.
Yeah, I mean, who the hell needs a disc drive anymore? I mean, I put a disc in my PS5. I'm not even fucking with you. I've had this thing for, I guess, 5 years now, just about.
Yeah.
I'm not even fucking with you. I bet I put a disc in my PS5 3 times in 5 years.
Wow.
It was like once to play, and I think probably 2 times were to play movies, and 1 time I think was maybe to play like No Man's Sky or like one of these PS4 games that I had a disc copy of. So I'm all about them removing the disc drive from the console because I'm never going to use it. But like you said, this isn't really particularly surprising, but I guess it would be nice to know for sure.
Yeah, dude, for sure. Well, let's get into new games coming out this week. It's I don't want to say it's lackluster. There's just not a lot of titles coming out. The first one being on the 9th, Firefighting Simulator Ignite. And on the 11th, Dead Reset. And then Borderlands 4 on September 12th, as well as Gloomy Eyes on September 12th. I would say the big standout is clearly Borderlands 4 on 9/12. And I hope it's good.
Yeah, I mean, I'm cautious. I'm waiting for reviews still, but I'm thinking I might play Borderlands 4. There's something in me that like I'm interested in playing a shooter, and I haven't played a Borderlands game since Borderlands 2. So I'm I don't know. I'm kind of interested in this one. I thought everything that I've seen so far looks fun. So we'll have to see though over the next couple of days.
Yeah, right. We'll see. It's been a long time since we've gotten a Tiny Tina's was the last one, but that's about it. But Jake, that's all I got for today's podcast. We're about an hour in. We had all kinds of technical difficulties, so it is later in the evening than we normally would be wrapping up, and we got to get this thing uploaded. So I don't really have anything else for the listeners. Again, just a reminder, those hoodies are probably going to go quick. At least I hope so. oneupbylandpa.bandcamp.com. Go check it out. Pick yourself up a nice fall hoodie. Support me and my music projects. And I can't really think of anything else. I'll keep everybody posted on Pig Hill and the Midwest Friends Fest. And if One Up By Land gets an opportunity to play that, we'll see. And it would be cool if we could make it work. But how about you, Jake? You good?
Yeah, dude. I need to go eat something and like freaking put an ice pack on my face or something. I don't know, man. I'm freaking, I don't know if it's, like I said, I think it might be allergies or something, but
yeah,
this is driving me crazy. I feel like I can't talk without like snot trying to come out of my nose.
Yeah. Well, go get some rest, man. All right. Well, thanks for tuning in, everybody, to episode 392 of PS. This is awesome. We are PlayStation Podcast, and we are every Wednesday for non-paid subscribers. And if you guys join our Patreon, again, patreon.com/PS, this is awesome. You get the episodes at least a day early, a sticker in the mail, and a shout out on our show for just $1 a month. Be a bro, hook us up, help us out. And with that out of the way, like Valkyria Chronicles 4, Vampire, and Void Bastards. P.S.
Yes.
This is awesome.
This is awesome.